They say wisdom comes with age, but so do subtle dangers, often hidden in plain sight on our very plates. After 60, the body becomes less forgiving, the cells less resilient, and the wrong foods can quietly steal years of vitality without warning, not through dramatic illness, but through slow, invisible wear and tear. Today, we won't just talk about healthy eating. We'll uncover 7 common foods many seniors still trust, foods that might be robbing your strength, your energy, and your future joy. Because it's never too late to choose differently. It's never too late to choose yourself. I've spent decades researching nutritional impact on aging bodies, and what I'm about to share might challenge some long-held beliefs. That's okay. Growth happens at the edge of comfort, doesn't it? The truth is, your body after 60 speaks a different language. Foods that once gave you pleasure might now be silently compromising your health. Not because they're inherently bad, but because your metabolism, digestion, and cellular repair mechanisms have changed. Think about it. Would you fuel a classic car the same way you'd fuel a brand new one? Of course not. You'd be more selective, more intentional. Your body deserves that same reverence. Does this sound familiar? The afternoon fatigue that wasn't there before? The joint stiffness that lingers longer than it used to? The digestive discomfort that seems to have no clear cause? These aren't simply signs of aging. Often, they're signs of foods that no longer serve you, foods that need to be recognized for what they've become, silent saboteurs of your golden years. Let's dive into the first culprit that might be stealing your vitality right now. 1. Processed meats. Sausage, bacon, deli cuts. They're convenient. They're flavorful. They remind us of simpler times. But beneath that familiar taste lies a complex web of health concerns, particularly problematic for aging bodies. Bacon sizzling in a pan might awaken nostalgic memories of Sunday breakfasts, but what's also sizzling is a dangerous cocktail of sodium nitrates and preservatives that put tremendous strain on your kidneys and cardiovascular system. The science is clear. Processed meats have been classified as Group 1 carcinogens by the World Health Organization, placing them in the same category as tobacco. For seniors whose cellular repair mechanisms are already compromised, this is particularly concerning. But it's not just cancer risk. The heavy sodium load creates silent inflammation throughout your body, the kind that settles into your joints, clouds your thinking, and makes your heart work harder than it needs to. Every bite of deli meat sends your blood pressure climbing, sometimes for hours after consumption. And when blood pressure remains elevated, the delicate blood vessels in your brain become more vulnerable to damage. Notice this in yourself or someone you care about. That slight swelling in the fingers after a sandwich lunch, the increased thirst, the subtle headache. Your body is sending signals worth heeding. Instead, consider lean proteins that support muscle maintenance, crucial as we age. Wild-caught fish, organic poultry, legumes, and even small amounts of grass-fed beef provide protein without the inflammatory baggage. Your body has carried you through decades of life. Now it's asking for gentler nourishment. 2. Deep-fried foods. Golden, crispy, and undeniably satisfying. Fried foods speak to something primal in us. They represent comfort, celebration, and indulgence. But for the senior body, that momentary pleasure extracts a steep price. When foods are submerged in hot oil, especially oils that have been reused, as in most restaurants, they absorb enormous amounts of damaged fats. These fats don't just add calories, they actively accelerate the aging process. The chemistry is fascinating and alarming. When certain oils are heated to high temperatures, they create compounds called advanced glycation end products, AGEs. These compounds literally age your tissues from the inside out, stiffening arteries, damaging kidney function, and accelerating cognitive decline. For someone in their 30s or 40s, the body might manage this occasional assault. But after 60, the recovery systems are slower, less efficient. Each serving of French fries or fried chicken leaves a metabolic debt that takes longer to repay. Think about how you feel after eating something fried. That heaviness that wasn't there in your younger years. The subtle brain fog, the disturbed sleep. Your body is trying to tell you something important. Keep watching. Because what I'm about to share next surprised even the most health-conscious seniors I've worked with. For every fried food you love, there's a preparation method that honors both your taste buds and your health. Air frying has revolutionized healthy cooking. Baking with a light olive oil spray can create that desired crispness. Even grilling imparts satisfying texture without the inflammatory damage. Remember, this isn't about deprivation. It's about sophisticated choice. It's about treating your body with the dignity it deserves after carrying you through decades of life. 3. Sugary beverages. Sodas, sweetened juices. That innocent-looking can of soda or bottle of fruit juice might be the most dangerous item in your refrigerator. Why? Because liquid sugar bypasses normal digestive safeguards and hits your bloodstream with the force of a metabolic tsunami. For seniors whose insulin response is already compromised, this creates a perfect storm of health consequences. Consider this. A single 12-ounce can of soda contains roughly 10 teaspoons of sugar, consumed in minutes. Your pancreas scrambles to produce enough insulin to manage this sugar flood, putting stress on a system that's already working harder as you age. But it's not just about diabetes risk. Sugar competes with calcium for absorption, slowly weakening your bones with every sweet sip. It accelerates cognitive decline by promoting inflammation in delicate brain tissues. It compromises immune function when you need it most. Most concerning, it's addictive. The dopamine release from sugar is similar to that of certain drugs, making each can harder to refuse than the last. Does this sound familiar? That afternoon energy crash that sends you reaching for something sweet. That's not a natural energy rhythm. It's a manufactured dependency. Water has become medicine in your senior years. Each glass helps flush toxins that your kidneys work harder to process now. Each sip delivers oxygen to tissues that need optimal blood flow. Each drop hydrates brain cells that require precision fluid balance. Try infusing water with slices of fruit for natural flavor. Experiment with herbal teas served hot or cold. Consider unsweetened coconut water for electrolytes after exercise. Comment below with a number from 1 to 10, indicating how difficult you think it would be to give up sugary drinks. I'm curious to hear your honest assessment, and I read every comment. 4. Excessively salty snacks, chips, salted nuts. That satisfying crunch of potato chips, or the 𝗪𝗿হি𝗶 quality of salted nuts, speaks to something primal in us. Salt was once precious, rare, and essential for survival, but today's reality is different. The average senior consumes about 3,400 milligrams of sodium daily, far exceeding the recommended 1,500 to 2,300 milligrams limit. This isn't just a number. It's the difference between stable and dangerous blood pressure, between fluid balance and painful edema, between heart health and heart failure. For the aging body, salt sensitivity increases dramatically. The same handful of pretzels that once had minimal effect might now send your blood pressure climbing for hours. Your kidneys, working at reduced capacity after 60, struggle to filter excess sodium, creating a cascade of consequences throughout your body. When blood vessels constrict from sodium overload, every organ receives less oxygen and nutrients. Your brain becomes more vulnerable to small vessel damage. Your heart works harder with each beat. Your joints retain fluid, amplifying discomfort. Notice this in yourself or someone you love. The swollen ankles after a salty meal, the increased thirst that never seems satisfied, the slight headache that appears without obvious cause. These are your body's desperate signals. The solution isn't tasteless food, it's rediscovering actual flavor. When you reduce salt, something remarkable happens. Your taste buds reset. Subtle flavors emerge. The natural sweetness of vegetables becomes apparent. The complexity of herbs reveals itself. Try replacing salted nuts with raw versions, then lightly toast them yourself with herbs. Discover the world of spices that add dimension without sodium. Keep a lemon nearby. A squeeze of citrus often satisfies the same taste receptors that crave salt. The transition takes about 2 weeks, but on the other side waits a world of flavor that doesn't compromise your health. 5. White bread and refined grains. The pillowy softness of white bread, the familiar comfort of crackers, the convenience of pasta. These refined carbohydrates have been dietary staples for many of us throughout our lives. Yet what was once merely empty calories in our younger bodies becomes actively problematic after 60. Here's why. Refined grains are essentially pre-digested by machines. The fiber has been stripped away, the germ removed, the natural nutrients depleted. What remains is effectively pure glucose, hitting your bloodstream with alarming speed. For the senior whose metabolic flexibility has diminished, this creates dangerous blood sugar spikes, followed by crashing lows. Each spike triggers inflammatory responses. Each crash leaves you fatigued, foggy, and craving more carbohydrates. A vicious cycle that accelerates aging. More concerning still is the connection between these refined carbohydrates and neurological health. Research increasingly links blood sugar instability to cognitive decline. The senior brain, magnificent as it is, becomes more vulnerable to this glucose roller coaster with each passing year. Keep watching. The next sign may surprise you. The solution isn't eliminating all bread or grain products. It's choosing versions that still remember where they came from. As I like to say, intact grains that contain their original fiber, that require actual digestion, that enter your bloodstream gradually rather than explosively. Steel-cut oats instead of instant, sprouted grain bread instead of white, brown rice instead of white, quinoa, barley, farro, grains that support gut health while providing steady energy. When you make these exchanges, something remarkable happens. Stable energy throughout the day, clearer thinking, reduced inflammation, even improved sleep quality, as your body isn't fighting blood sugar battles in the middle of the night. 6. Heavy cream-based sauces and gravies. Those rich, velvety sauces that coat your favorite dishes provide undeniable pleasure. The cream sauce on pasta, the gravy on potatoes, the bechamel in casseroles, they speak to comfort and tradition. But as digestion becomes more sensitive after 60, these heavy, fat-laden accompaniments create a particular burden. The aging digestive system produces fewer enzymes, reduced stomach acid, and slower processing. What once digested easily now lingers uncomfortably. The saturated fat in these sauces doesn't just challenge digestion, it promotes the kind of low-grade inflammation that accelerates joint pain, clouds thinking, and compromises heart health. For seniors already navigating inflammatory conditions, these sauces quietly amplify discomfort. Perhaps you've noticed this yourself. The heartburn that wasn't there in younger years. The feeling of heaviness that persists hours after eating. The disturbed sleep when rich foods are consumed too close to bedtime. These aren't random occurrences. They're your body communicating its changing needs. The good news? Culinary science has evolved. Plant-based alternatives now create remarkably satisfying sauces without the inflammatory aftermath. Pureed white beans with herbs can create a pasta sauce with the mouthfeel of cream, but the benefits of fiber and protein. Cashew cream provides luxurious texture while delivering heart-healthy fats. Even avocado, blended with lemon and herbs, creates a sauce that satisfies without compromising health. Does this sound familiar? That post-meal discomfort you've come to accept as normal aging. Perhaps it's not age itself, but what you're asking your aging body to process. 7. Artificial sweeteners, hidden in diet products. Perhaps the most insidious item on our list, because it comes disguised as a health-conscious choice. diet sodas, sugar-free ice cream, light yogurt, low-calorie salad dressings. These products proudly advertise reduced calories and sugar, but at what cost? For seniors especially, artificial sweeteners present unique concerns. Research increasingly suggests these compounds may disrupt gut bacteria, the very microbiome that becomes more crucial for immunity and brain health as we age. Some studies link certain sweeteners to increased stroke risk and compromised glucose metabolism, particularly concerning for seniors already navigating cardiovascular and metabolic challenges. Most troubling, these sweeteners may actually increase sugar cravings rather than satisfy them. They trigger insulin release without providing actual glucose, creating metabolic confusion that can lead to increased hunger and paradoxical weight gain. Notice this in yourself or someone you care about: the persistent sweet cravings despite consuming diet products, the stubborn weight that won't respond to traditional approaches, the digestive discomfort that seems to have no clear cause. These may be signals worth heeding. Instead of artificial substitutes, consider retraining your palate to appreciate subtle natural sweetness, berries with their complex flavors, a square of high-quality dark chocolate, cinnamon, which enhances sweetness perception without adding sugar, a drizzle of real maple syrup or honey, yes, actual sugar, but in controlled amounts that your body recognizes and processes naturally. Comment the number 7 below if this revelation about artificial sweeteners surprised you. I'm genuinely curious how many of us have been misled by health marketing. Aging well isn't about giving up pleasures. It's about choosing pleasures that give back to you. Every meal you take is essentially a love letter to your future self, a promise that you're still building something beautiful with the years you have left. So perhaps today is not about guilt or fear. It's about wisdom. About standing quietly at the crossroads and choosing the road that leads to more mornings, more laughter, more life. Each food choice is a vote for the quality of your tomorrow, not just longevity, but vitality, the ability to play with grandchildren without pain, the clarity to engage in meaningful conversations, the energy to pursue passions that may have waited patiently through years of responsibility. Start with just one change. Perhaps eliminating the most problematic food from this list, the one that resonated most deeply as you listened. Small shifts create momentum. Your body will respond with gratitude, often more quickly than you might expect. Remember that nutrition in your senior years isn't just about avoiding illness. It's about actively cultivating joy. When inflammation recedes, when energy stabilizes, when digestion improves, life itself becomes more pleasurable. You've earned the right to feel vital in your body. You've earned the wisdom to choose nourishment over momentary satisfaction. You've earned the self-respect to provide your cells with what they truly need, not just what marketing has convinced you to want. If this message resonated with you, I'd be honored if you'd subscribe to this channel, not because numbers matter, but because this community of thoughtful individuals sharing a journey toward vibrant aging matters deeply to me. Like this video if you're committed to making even one small change this week. Your engagement helps this information reach others who might benefit from it. And please share your thoughts in the comments. Which foods surprised you most? What changes have you already made that have improved how you feel? Your wisdom might be exactly what another viewer needs to hear today. We're listening, and we're walking this journey with you, one mindful meal at a time. Because your golden years should truly shine, and that begins with what's on your plate.